Hey guys, welcome back to my channel AG Motion Designs, and in today's video we are going to learn about the character animation workflow inside of After Effects without using any third-party plugin but with the help of Adobe Illustrator and Adobe After Effects. Project files are available in the description so you can download it later and practice it along with them. And if you're new to this channel, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here we are in Adobe Illustrator. I have this Illustrator file over here. I have downloaded this file from the freepik.com. Link of this Illustrator file is available in the description, so you can do check it out now and download it. Now after downloading, you will get this document over here. As you can see, we have two separate layers, one with the object and one with the background. So I'm gonna select this background, not background but this object with the help of this icon over here. Click to target, simply click on it so it will select all the things and hit Ctrl C to copy this. And I have created this separate file over here. I'll press Ctrl V to paste it, and by holding shift I'm going to increase the size of it and I'll adjust it in this canvas like this. I think this one looks good. Yeah, now right click on it and create ungroup, so we'll have separate files. Still this is not separated, but we will see this in later. Let's select this file, hit Ctrl X to cut it out. From here create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V, and we will call it as 1 because it indicates this one virus. So select this one, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer, press Ctrl Shift V. Select this, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer, press Ctrl Shift V. We will follow this same procedure for all of them. Select this and let's type this 2. This should be 3. This should be 4. And this should be 5. And let's hide them like this. Now select this, right click and choose ungroup. Select this, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V. Now we will select this thing, double click on it and let's call it as BG, and we'll lock this layer like that. Now we will select this, right click and release clipping mask, so it will release the clipping mask. And let's select this much portion. So as you can see, we have one extra background, so we don't want that, so simply delete it like that. Now we have this main character, but this character is divided into several parts. So first select on it. As you can see, all of them are selected, so simply right click and choose ungroup, so it will ungroup them. So as you can see, this is now separate parts. So hit Ctrl X, create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V. Let's call it as hand and hit OK. Let's hide this. Now we will select this head, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V. Now zoom in a little bit, double click on it and let's call it as head like that. Select this, right click and choose ungroup. Now we will select this again, right click and ungroup. Select this one and this one by holding shift, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer, press Ctrl Shift V. Let's call it as eyes and hit OK. Select this one and this one by holding shift, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer, press Ctrl Shift V, and let's call it as eyebrows. Let's hide both of them and this one also. Now I'm going to select this hand, right click and choose ungroup, so it will ungroup this hand. Now select this hand, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. Double click and let's call it as hand and hit OK like this. Now right click and ungroup again. Now we will select this one, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer and press Ctrl Shift V, and let's call it as sword and hit OK. Let's hide both of them. Now we have one shadow over here, so simply double click on it so it will go inside this. I'm gonna again double click. We have this extra thing, so we will delete this. Let's go backward like that. Now we will select this one and we will call it as chest and hit OK. Let's see. Yeah, so if you see, we have certain like this. We have this extra portion also, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer, press Ctrl Shift V, and let's call it as hairs and hit OK. I have separated this for the secondary actions. We will explain in later about that. Now we are not going to change this mask or anything, but if you want, then simply select this chest, right click and ungroup. You can select this portion, hit Ctrl X, create a new layer, press Ctrl Shift V, let's call it as hip, and let's move this downwards like that. Then we will save this file like this. So all the things are separated on each and every layer. So now we will go to the After Effects and we will start to animate. Let's go to the After Effects. I'm going to create a new composition. Let's call it as main animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30 and duration is 30 seconds, and background color is white color, and simply hit OK and hit OK. Then choose grid and guide option and hit on title section. Now press Ctrl I on your keyboard to import your file. I'll select this file. I'll go to the import as footage, composition, return, layers and sizes, and simply hit import. And let's bring this over here like this. Now we have successfully imported our file over here. Now we have this file, so simply double click to open this file. Now we will separate it from all the other things. So we will select this one and this one like this, and we will press Ctrl Shift C to call it as virus like this, and hit OK. Double click to open this. I am going to select this one and I'll hit Ctrl X. I'll go to the untitled one and I'll hit Ctrl V to paste it over here, and let's hide this. Now select this virus. Let's move this one over here, this one over here, and this one over here like this. I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to click on this option. I'll press Ctrl A to select all of them. Go to the effect and presets panel and we will search for one effect called wiggle effect, wiggle position effect. So we'll get something like this. You can apply wiggle rotation effect also, but it creates something weird. So instead of that, simply go to the start, press R for rotation, create one keyframe over here, go to around 10 seconds, and let's make this one complete rotation. So we will get this rotation animation also. Now go to the start, press P for position, create one keyframe, hit U, go to 10 frames, and let's move this over here. Go to the start and let's move this over here. So we will get this kind of animations. So now our virus animation is done. Now we can focus on this animation. So I'm going to select this thing, virus, and I'll press Ctrl Shift C to pre-complete, move all attribute into new composition, and let's call it as virus 2 and hit OK. Press Y to choose your pen behind tool, and I'll move this over here. Now press P for position or hit Ctrl D to duplicate it first, and let's hide this one. Select this virus, press P for position, create one keyframe over here, zoom in a little bit, go to around 20 frames and create keyframe, or let's move this over here with the help of this selection like this. And initially I'll move this out of this composition like that. Zoom in, let's move this somewhere around over here like this. So we'll get something like that. Now go to the start, press R for rotation, create one keyframe, hit U, go over here, create another keyframe, go to the start, and let's make this one. So we will get this rotation animation also. Now go over here. Now we will enable this virus which we have created first. Let's bring this at the top and move this over here, and we'll select this one. We'll copy the position keyframe, hit Ctrl C, select this one and hit Ctrl V. Now we will select this layer and we'll press Ctrl Shift D to cut it out, and let's delete this portion. Now I am going to select this virus and I am going to search for pixel poly effect on it, this one. So we will get this breaking animation like that. you can control the spinning also, and you can do so many things. So I'm going to make the direction over here like that, so it will look like it's gonna cut with that. And force, let's choose 500 like this, or I think 150. Gravity, let's make 10. Let's see, I think 10 is very heavy, so let's choose 2 and let's see. Let's choose 1.5. And grid space, let's decrease the grid spacing up to 5, so we'll get more like this. And direction randomness, let's make 100 like this. Let's make the opacity 0.8 like this. Like this. Now at this point this animation is ending, so I'll hold Ctrl Shift D to delete split this, and we will delete this much portion. Hit U again. Now we will select this one, and this one I'll press Ctrl Shift C, and let's call it as virus dead animation, and hit OK. Alt close bracket. So in this composition we have this dead virus animation. Now go to 2 seconds, I'll hit Ctrl D and I'll move this over here, so because I want this animation again like this, but this time I want this something over here, so press P and let's move this over here. Let's enable this option like this. Let's enable this one also. I don't think we need that. Let's move this somewhere around over here. So yep, our animation portion of for the virus is done. Now if you enable this virus, we will get this animation and this animation. So this is virus animation is done. So let's log this one for now. I think we need to hide this BG. Now we can focus on this animation. So first of all, select all of them and make sure that you are checking out these options. Now we will focus on head first. This is our head, so I am gonna enable this head, eyebrows, eyes, hand, and this hairs. So let's disable this hand, we don't need that right now. So now I'm going to select this hairs and I'll make it apparent with this head. Select the eyebrows and eyes and make it apparent with this head. So first we will make the eye animation for this. So select this, press R for rotation, create one keyframe, then press S for scaling option, create one keyframe and unlink this. Press U to reveal both of them. Go to around 20 frames, create one keyframe each, go to around 10 frames, and let's make this 0, and then we will rotate it somewhere around like this, so we will get this kind of blink like this. Let's move this over here, go to around 2 seconds and again create another keyframes. Now select both of them, all of them, and hit F9 to easily use those keyframes like this. Let's move this a little bit over here. Yeah, now we will select these eyebrows, press P for position, create one keyframe, go over here, create another keyframe, go to the start, and we will bring this downwards. Now go over here and create again one keyframe, select those keyframe and hit F9. By holding Alt, I am going to type loop out expression on it. Hit Ctrl A to select this expression, hit Ctrl C to copy, Alt click on the stopwatches and also apply on both of them. So we'll get this kind of animation. Now we will select this head, press Y for pen behind tool, and we will move this over here. Hit W, so it will select the rotation tool. So as you can see, we can rotate this head right like this. Now select this head, press P for position, go to the start, create one keyframe, press R for rotation, create another keyframe and hit U, so we can see both of them. Let's move this a little bit over here. Now go to 1 second and let's move this over here. Again create one keyframe on position, so if you see, we will get this kind of animation. I think we should go to the 20 frames. We will select this and move this over here like this. Now go to 10 frames. We will select this layer, and with the help of down arrow key we will move this head a little bit downwards like this. So we'll get something like this. Again, I think we need to move this downwards like this. Now select those keyframe and hit F9 to easily use those keyframes. Now I am going to select those keyframe. I'll hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V to copy those keyframes. Right click, keyframe assistance and time reverse. So you'll get something like this. Now again I am going to create one keyframe over here on both of them, and now I am going to apply alt click on the stopwatch and loop out expression. Hit Ctrl A to select this, hit Ctrl C to copy, alt click on the stopwatch and hit Ctrl V. So if you see this, we will get this kind of animation for the continuous. Also we will select this hair. As I discussed, we need this hair for secondary movement of this character. So press Y to select your pen behind tool, and we will move this anchor point over here. Now press R for rotation, create one keyframe over here like this. Go to over here, hit W to select this rotation tool, and let's move this downwards. Go over here, let's move this upwards like this. Go few frames forward, select the first keyframe, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Now we will select those keyframes, we will hit F9 like this, and we will move this keyframes a little bit over here. Or you can move this at the backward, but I think we should move this forward because that creates a more sense. Or instead of that, you can delete this last keyframe, go over here and select this keyframe, hit Ctrl C, Ctrl V like this. Now go to the start, create another keyframe like this. Select those four keyframes, hit Ctrl C, go over here, hit Ctrl V, right click, keyframe assistance, time reverse like that, like this. And now we will move this keyframes again few frames forwards like this. Now go to this position, create another keyframe like this, like this. Now alt click on the stopwatch, type loop out expression on it like this. So our head animation is done. Now let's disable this. Okay. We will select this head and we will make it parent with our chest, which is this one. Now we will enable this chest one and press Y, and let's move this anchor point over here like this. Now we will select this sword and we will move this anchor point over here, and we will make it parent with our chest. Oh sorry, it's a sword, so we need to move the anchor point over here. Let's enable this, yeah, and we will enable this hand, and we will move this anchor point over here. We will select this hand, we will make it apparent with this chest, and we will select this sword and we will make it parent with this hand. Yep. Now we have this hand also, so we will make it apparent with this chest. So now if I select this chest, I'll hit W, and if I rotate it, as you can see, we are getting something like this. So now we will enable this first virus animation. I'm going to select this chest, press W, and I'll rotate it like that. Press R for rotation, create one keyframe, go few frames forwards. I'll move this like that, go over here, and at this point I'll move him like this. Let's select this and hit F9 like this. Now I am going to select this hand, press R for rotation, create one keyframe, press P for position, create another keyframe and hit U, and initially hit W and rotate it like that. Press V, and let's move this somewhere around over here. Hit W to rotate it like this and move this over here. Now as you can see, at this point what we will do, we will bring this shield upward. So I'm going to create one keyframe over here, and as you can see at this point it's gonna break. So at this point I'll select this, let's rotation 0, and let's move this over here like this. Now select those keyframe and hit F9, so we'll get something like this. Also now let's lock this layers. We have this hand, so I'll select this hand, hit W, and I'll rotate it like that. As you can see, we are getting something weird, so select this hand and sword, and we need to bring this at the top like this. Now select this hand, hit W like this, select this sword, hit W, and we'll move this somewhere around like this. And at this point select this head, press R for rotation, create one keyframe, select this sword, press R for rotation, create one keyframe, go over here, let's make this 0, let's make this 0 also, select those keyframes and hit F9. We will select this chest. I think at this point we need to move this downwards like this. At this point it should be upward like this, and this point this should be downwards. So if you hit play, we will get something like this. Let's move this over here, press V. Like this. Okay, now we will select this sword, press R for rotation, let's rotate it like that initially. After a few frames, again create one rotation, so it will look like it's still animating. Now let's enable this second virus. For this one we need to show sword animation. Let's move this a little bit forward, like it should come like this again. Now this should animate at this point. So for now what we will do, let's go few frame forwards, create this one keyframe on the chest. It goes downward like this, then few frame forward, zoom in a little bit, let's move those keyframe over here, let's move this over here, go over here, he comes down. After few frames he comes wholly backward, and at this point it comes like this. Okay, so now we will select this hand, press R for rotation, create one keyframe. Now at this point hit W to move this like this. Now hit U, go over here, press one keyframe over here, and at this point I want this shield to be a little bit downwards like this. So this is for this hand, hit U. Now we need to focus on this hand, so press R for rotation, select this chest, hit U, so we can see the keyframe, select this hand, create one keyframe over here, go few frame forwards, hit W, let's move this like this. Yeah, press B, select those keyframes and let's move them over here. Now at this point I want should hit W like this. Now select this sword, press R for rotation, create one keyframe over here, go over here and hit W like this. Now after this I'll select this chest and I'll rotate it like this. I'll select this hand, I'll rotate it like that. I'll select this sword and I'll rotate it like this. At this point I think I should move this a little bit downwards, this sword also. Let's select this hand and move this over here like this. So if you see this animation, we'll select something like this. Now we will select this virus layer and press V, and we'll move this a little bit over here like this. Now at this, yeah, this is the perfect font for this to animate like this. So hit U. Now we will disable this and let's see what we are getting. Yep, we will delete this BG, we don't need that, and we will create another BG. So let's create a new composition. I'll hit Ctrl N, I'll call it as BG, and width let's choose 1080. Select the ellipse, we don't want any stroke, so I'll delete the stroke. Go to the fill and we will choose blue color for this fill, and by holding shift I'll create one ellipse, press Ctrl Alt O. Select the shape layer, press V, let's move this over here, hit Ctrl D, let's move this over here, hit Ctrl D and let's move this over here, hit Ctrl D and let's move this over here. Let's select this, press S and scale it like that. Select this one and this one, let's move this over here. Hit Ctrl A to select all of them, go to the effect and presets panel and search for wiggle position like this. Right click, new, and create one adjustment layer. Go to the effect and presets panel and search for blur. I'm going to choose Gaussian blur. Increase the blurriness to totally up to 40. Go to the effect and presets panel and search for simple choker and increase the choke value like this. Also increase the blurriness. So if you see, we are getting something like this. Now go to the untitled one, hit Ctrl 0. Let's bring this BG over here and we'll move it somewhere around over here like this. Now we will go to the main animation. We will select it, press S for scaling option, create. Let's make this, let's enable this option. Go inside this, select this virus compositions, not this two but this one. We will enable this option like that. Initial size should be, let's say, 86. Create one keyframe. Now this animation ends over here. Let's zoom in, go to 5 seconds and let's make this 100. Hit N, press Ctrl Y to create a BG. Hit OK. Let's move this over here and choose quarter resolution so we can see this animation like this. You can select this, you can enable this option so you can see those things over here. So this is the character animation workflow. You can create several animation with the help of this small techniques. So that's it for the today's video. Project files are available in the description so you can check it out and practice it later. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, then please consider to subscribe this channel and also hit the bell icon to get more updates. Until then, stay tuned.